Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Mannie, and today I'll be explaining to you every single thing that Bandai actually failed to explain to us in their new Guild vs. Guild Beta War, whatever you want to call it, mode. If you're new around here, also leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It does help me out a lot. But yeah, like I said, Bandai really failed to explain everything to you, and in today's video, I will explain what the Byakugan, the Shadow Clone, the Izanagi, and the Denko Sekka, what all of them do, as well as go over the guild versus guild aspect, as well as what units you should be putting in your fortress, what tactician scrolls do, yada yada yada. But yeah, so before I get onto any of this, let's go to the next special shinobis. I'll be honest, you guys can completely ignore this because essentially what this is these are the shinobis that'll be boosted, and I have air quotations in my hand, but they'll be boosted on your defense, right? Which might sound great, but you can see the roster. It's Naruto, Itachi, Kisame, and Boruto. Like they're not going to be good in your fortress, so do not put them. Or maybe Kisame. Actually, Kisame could be a shout, but everyone else is not good. Just do not put them in your fortress. Moving on from that, the icons, what you guys are here for. Most of you guys have probably figured this out by now, but for those of you who haven't, I will be explaining to you what each individual icon does, as well as how to move up this former investigation site. Big shoutouts actually to MRN on the Reddit Ninja Voltage Discord. I will link that in the description box down below. He did actually make a beautiful layout, kind of showcasing what everything does and what you need to know. So let me explain the terrains. It's kind of like, think of it like a Monopoly board. You want to get to that dark blue space with all the good stuff, which is the final valley. So you start Orochimaru's layout and you can move your way up, and you want to end up in the final valley. And I will show you what you can get in the final valley, which are these golden chests. These are the best chests and give you the most tactician scrolls. As you can see, I got a 1600 tactician scroll drop. These tactician scrolls are used to boost the installations in your fortress, and I will show you that in the later on into today's video. But yeah, so you want to end up here, and the way you get up here is, or the way you move up fortress layouts is, you find this lucky cat as you play the investigations. If you're wondering how to move up in the investigations, you literally can play any mode in the game. It can be solo attack missions. It can be the Kisame mission for 3 stamina, which I recommend you guys do play because it's very quick, and you move up the tile and you just claim your rewards like that. So literally you play any mode in the game, very simple, and you are good to go. You want to find a lucky cat because the cats move you up the floors, like I said again, and bring you to places with better rewards. Kamui is the things you want to avoid because Kamui will drop you back down to the previous floor or even the very first floor, which is the Orochimaru layout, which again gives you the worst rewards. You can see the rewards here. You can either get this brown box, the red box, silver box, or the gold box. Obviously the gold box has the Gucci stuff, the golden rewards, the most tactician scrolls, and they are only available in the final valley, although you can sometimes find it in other floors if you are a lucky person. But yeah, so are there ways to stop yourself from getting Kamui'd back down to a lower floor? Yes, there are. As you can see, MRN did write the Byakugan negates the effects of Kamui, so you can actually get these little items as you move along the board, as I'll show you real quick. Here you go. So as you move along, you'll sometimes stumble across an item, and when you land the item, the next turn, if it is usable, it'll just instantly use it, or sometimes have a chance to use it when it comes to the Byakugan and the Izanagi, because when you get a Kamui or land on a Kamui, Byakugan has a chance to just nullify the Kamui effects, whereas Izanagi can either nullify it or slightly reduce the effects, meaning instead of going from the snowy fort into the Orochimaru layout, you would only fall down 1 floor thanks to the effects of Izanagi. But yeah, Byakugan is infinitely better. But yeah, so the ways to stop Kamui are Byakugan, and Izanagi. But keep in mind, they don't actually work 100% of the time. It only works whenever it feels like it, which I don't know. I don't really know why. The Shadow Clone and the Denko Sekka now. So this is the Shadow Clone and the Denko Sekka. I'll very easily explain this, guys. Shadow Clone, as you can see, I got 100 scrolls here. Shadow Clone, so if in my next box, if I were to get 100 scrolls, I would just get double the amount. Very, very simple. So I move one space, click 100 scrolls, and then Shadow Clone will come into effect. I'll get another 100, so we'll get 200 scrolls. Very, very simple. Denko Sekka is even more simple. You just move 2 spaces. So instead of moving 1 space when you defeat a mission, you will move 2 spaces. So you'll just get essentially 2 chests, or maybe 1 item, 1 chest, depending on what your board looks like. But yeah, that about does it for the little icons that most of you should probably have figured out by now, because I am uploading this video a little bit later. But I did want to, actually give you a concise video on and make sure that I'm giving you the correct information and not just reading out what Bandai have told us, because they have told us absolutely nothing. Thank you, Bandai, for being useless. But yeah, so what do we use the Tactician Scrolls for? So the Tactician Scrolls are used to boost your guild fortress, which is, I'm going to be completely honest, it's really not that important, because you don't really gain too much from winning a defense, let alone the fact that you can't actually edit your defense. Your guild fortress. Like, the only thing you can edit is the shinobi you add. So as you can see, shout out Syndicate. I don't know how we've won 32. I think I feel like some people are just playing on order and just losing, because all these traps you see, we can't actually change anything. Like, they're locked in like this. Like, we can't move this Gara into a different tile. We can't move Ninetales to a different tile. Like, it's just locked in, which is a very, very poor judgment from Bandai in my book. Like, it would be pretty cool for us to actually place the shinobi where we want to place them, rather than these RNG spots. But yeah, so you use these Tactician Scrolls, kind of went off a tangent, but use these Tactician Scrolls to boost installations in your guild fortress. As you can see, our guild pretty much has everything maxed out, except the little tail beast, because this tail beast, it just powers up Kurama essentially, so it's kind of pointless, as no one's going to come to the left of this tile. But yeah, so the points I use to power up all the little terrains, it gives you a slight advantage, I guess, if you power up these little installations, but it's no huge biggie. It just makes other people's lives a bit more annoying. Honestly, these fortresses, well, our guild fortress is actually one of the better layouts. I'll actually showcase you guys the layouts that are available to you guys. Real quick. Shout out to Riser for posting a screenshot of all the layouts. But most of these layouts, as you can see, are terrible. They're actually beyond terrible. Like, they only give you 5 tiles. Like, I thought they would finally give us 5x5 tiles and maybe more time. But yeah, Bandai never failed to disappoint. I can say that much. But most of these terrains are very, very bad. People are like, oh cool, I can solo a guild fortress. So I'm just like, alright, cool. It's literally like a Genin fortress or Academy fortress. It's a default fortress that you can't even edit. It's so it's so sad. It is so sad. Okay, so the best one that the guild is using is terrain set 9. If you are wondering how to unlock these terrains, again, like I said, all you'd have to do is just play the game, literally any mode. It's a random drop, so you can actually find it from I don't think you can find it from golden chests, actually. I think you can just find it from these random chests. Once your guild has unlocked all the terrains, then you will no longer be able to find them, because they're only one drop. But again, the more you play, more or less you'll unlock every single terrain. And yeah, my terrain to pick would either be terrain 10 maybe, or terrain 9 is what our guild is using. I think there's another terrain that's also fairly decent. I forgot which one it was actually, but it was one of these terrains. I think it was this one actually, terrain 5. Yes, terrain 5 is actually pretty decent as well. But my advice would just to be use the terrain, not 10, the terrain 9 because it has a full 9x9, and there are ways to catch some people off guard. But again, we can't actually edit these fortresses, so it is very, very useless. I don't know why Bandai made it this way, but it is what it is. Yeah, but last but not least, who to actually put in your guild fortress. You kind of probably already figured it out, but it is Wargara. Wargara is the best shinobi to put in your guild fortress because he is the best standalone unit. Doesn't really need any traps to support him. He's just that broken by himself. Obviously, in the final room, you want to have a Rin or a KLM, and just like normal attack missions. Yeah, it's pretty much the same concept. Also, if you want to know how to get into the guild fortress, you want to be top 8 in your guild in terms of contribution points. How to get these contribution points, you're wondering? Just power up installations or play the Guild vs Guild War game mode, and you will just get contribution points. So yeah, whoever's in the top 4 will be in the final room of the guild. So Roasted, Clutch, Crom, and Myth are in our final 4, which is why, you know, Roasted's holding it down. This is why your guild actually needs communication. But yeah, one of your members needs a Rin, the other one obviously a KLM. The 2 pesky annoying go-to SS tiers, and then my other recommendation would be have 2 Garas. Edo Itachi is actually not that great because he doesn't really have any status, well not status, but he doesn't have any ceiling effects, and ceiling is pretty much what you need when the game doesn't allow you to edit the guild fortress. But yeah, so Gara, like I said, is the best. Actually, comment down below if you would like to see a tier list of the best shinobis to use in the Guild vs Guild War defense, even though I think defense is kind of useless because, like I said again, we can't do anything about the defense. All we can do is just add a shinobi, and yeah, good luck. Can't even add traps. They're just all default traps. Absolute sadness. But yeah, that about does it for the investigation portion of this video. Moving on to the Guild vs Guild aspect of this video, and it's actually going to be very, very quick and very, very brief because I think Bandai have completely missed the mark when it comes to the Guild vs Guild little feature. So it's actually pointless to play with your guild mates. It's better to play solo because when you play with 4 other guild mates, it only counts as 1 run. So you only get contribution points equal to 1 person. So it's actually better to play solo, or the solo version where you can actually bring your supports, because you'll be able to get 4 times the amount if you had 4 people, let's say, playing in your room. If they were all to go play solo, you'll get a total of 8,000 contribution points as opposed to 2,000, which we get when we play with voice crack, my bad boys, but we get only 2,000 depending on, or no matter how many guild members we have. Like, I thought it would stack, like if we had 4 members we would get 8,000 together, but it only gets 2,000. So this Guild vs Guild team mode is actually another solo mode, which is completely stupid, and I don't know why Bandai have done this. maybe they'll change it in the future, because another thing that's really stupid about this Guild vs Guild War mode is there's no stamina requirement. And you might be wondering, why are you complaining about a no stamina requirement? Well, essentially it's who has the most time, because this mode is completely skillless, because the fortresses are default fortresses. So they're essentially like academy fortresses or even Genin fortresses. Like, you can't change anything, right? I've been complaining about this for a very long time, but yeah, you can't do anything. So it's kind of pointless having all these defenses, all the installations or whatnot, when your fortress can just be run down by this little conqueror or pretty much any meta main. The attack mission tier list stays the same, because this is pretty much attack missions versus Genin fortresses. Like, any Gokunin player will look at this fortress and just laugh, because it's it's way too easy. But yeah, like I said, play solo. Don't play with your guild members, which sounds completely absurd, as it's called Guild vs Guild. But yeah, so play with yourself. Don't play with your guild members. Big sad. But yeah, I will explain to you guys quickly what the flutes do. So the little summoning flutes, if I can get the screen up, the little summoning flutes, as you can see on the top of your screen, the yellow flute boosts for I think 10, it's either 10 or 15 minutes, which is very short amount of time as well. It boosts your defense when you're getting attacked, or if your guild does manage to get attacked, which is again completely irrelevant because we can't fortresses just whatever. And then the attacking flute is actually pretty good. So the attacking flute boosts our main stats. So my Conqueror, if I had 20k health, it'll get boosted to like 30k, which is ridiculous. And my Conqueror will also have more attack, I think more defense as well, when the red flute is up. So the red flute is actually infinitely better to use, and that's the flute you want to try to maintain. Unfortunately, and again, I don't know why Bandai have done this, you can only hold one flute of each at a time. So it's actually pointless getting like 10 yellow flutes, because you can only hold one yellow flute. And I mean, I guess it doesn't matter too much because they drop very, very frequently. But yeah, Guild vs Guild War, Bandai completely missed the mark. This is an infinite grind fest. Like, you can just play this for eternity. Like, it's such a grind. But I think Bandai did make a mistake. I think they did want to. This is beta again, so I feel like they will add a stamina aspect of it. Maybe like attack mission stamina, I wouldn't mind, because it's not too ridiculous. Like, at least it's every 10 minutes you regen one stamina, as opposed to just can play the mode infinitely. Because, like, again, the guilds that will be in top 100 aren't guilds that are quote unquote skillful. They're just guilds with players that have the most time, because this game mode is this game mode's so skillless. You just run around again in Fortress. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But anyway, hopefully you guys did learn a thing or two in today's video. Hopefully Bandai do a better job of explaining every single thing in this game next time around. But yeah, comment down below if you learned anything. Also comment down below if you would like to see kind of a list of who's good to put in the Guild Fortress, even though I think personally it doesn't matter too much. And like I did say, if you have Wargara, just slap Wargara in and you should be good to go. But yeah, that's enough waffling from me. Thank you guys for watching. Actually, no, before I sign off, I will be uploading a defense tier list video, I think on Monday, either Monday or Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.